Today's been a wonderful day, folks. I got locked out of Twitter and a whole bunch of stuff happened, with BTS getting attacked by a German radio jockey and James Charles getting exposed for the third time in 6 months, and Trisha Paytas coming after James Charles. As the saying goes, to make an omelet, you gotta break some eggs, and this year so far has been a warehouse full of omelets, and it's gonna taste like floor. Irrelevant news. This school had a marching band practice, and people noticed it was a little unusual.
1, 2, 1, 2.
This makes absolute sense, folks. A band's literally playing intense, while influencers like Tana Mojo Jojo stroll around Miami Beach with no mascot as though there's no pandemic going on, because as everybody knows, COVID-19 is all in our heads. And speaking of having a big head, somebody made a golden statue of Donald Trump for this Republican convention that's currently happening.
Throw it up! Trump, throw it up!
Awesome. That is so cool.
Well, now it makes absolute sense why Donald Trump was best friends with that dictator from North Korea, Kim Jong-un, because they share a similar taste in useless golden statues. And in other news, Charli D'Amelio's mom, Heidi, had a lot of thoughts about the Bryce Hall situation.
You know, it's over. Everybody moved on. He apologized. He gifted them a night in Malibu, which is very nice. So, you know, we all do things.
It's over. This is the past now.
Moving right along.
Well, I guess Heidi isn't clapping back at Bryce anymore. And in other news, a German radio jockey came after BTS.
German radio station apologizes for comment on K-pop's BTS.
Well, they apologized already. That was quick. I wonder what the radio jockey said.
The uproar came after a live show Wednesday in which Matashik derided BTS's version of Fix You as blasphemy and compared the band to COVID-19, describing them as some crappy virus that hopefully there will be a vaccine for soon as well.
Now, folks, before we start jumping to conclusions, it must be said that the only reason why this German radio personality said this is because he was working on a very specific yoga position known as sticking your foot in your mouth.
He then dug the hole deeper as he tried to roll back the comment somewhat, saying, "I have nothing against South Korea. You can't accuse me of only because this boy band is from South Korea. I have a car from South Korea. I have the coolest car around."
This guy's smart. He's real smart. You can tell from the size of his forehead he's got big brain, even though he bears a strange similarity to Pinky. So incredibly eloquent that there's absolutely no way he can mess this up anymore.
Then he went on to say that in penance for the cover, BTS will be vacationing in North Korea for the next 20 years.
So smart. And in other news, the Roblox is out here allegedly destroying families.
Our 11-year-old daughter ran up a 2,400-pound Roblox gaming bill.
Well, good for her. She deserves the reward. Folks, people don't seem to understand just how difficult it is to learn how to multiply, especially in Apple Pay.
Roblox, Apple, and PayPal have all refused to refund the money.
Folks, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Let's respect big tech. They also need to pay their bills right now because they're having such a difficult time right now. And speaking of having a difficult time, Minecraft streamer George Not Found was banned from TikTok.
TikTok just banned me.
First they took Tommy in it, and then they took George Not Found. Who's next? Quackity? No.
Should I ban George again?
Let's be honest, folks, it makes absolute sense that Wendy's is deciding who gets banned from TikTok. That's why the Lapidos are still on TikTok. And speaking of burgers, it's some very serious allegations. James Carls Jr.
So last Wednesday on the 17th, James Charles snapped me on Snapchat. He added me back because I had snapped him a while ago, just like a fan to influencer conversation.
Oh, well, that's really nice of James to allegedly get so close to his fans.
I was excited because he's my biggest influencer-wise, and I've always looked up to him, so I was excited to get his message back. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna post proof of it right now. This is the notification that I got when he Snapchatted me first.
Well, there's nothing unusual about using a platform that auto-deletes messages after a certain amount of time.
I went into the bathroom, and I guess he saw the bathroom light, so he started making the conversation very and it made me really uncomfortable. And I'll post some of the stuff that he sent me now. You can't see it because it's blurry because I took it on my iPad because I don't want him to see that I screenshotted it, but I'll post it right now.
Now, even though I can't show any of it, folks, because of this platform that I'm currently inhabiting, isn't it interesting to feel like we're living through Groundhog Day of allegations? Because this has repeated itself literally every couple of months. About 6 months ago, it was a 14-year-old boy, and then just a little over a month ago, it was this guy. I'm so confused why James keeps allegedly forgetting to do the right thing.
He proceeded to send me explicit pictures of his body. So after sending me that first picture of his body, explicitly, he sent me multiple after that.
How do you say it again? What's the word? Jail!
I was getting really uncomfortable, so I told him my age. I told him I'm 16. Meanwhile, he's 21. He's a grown man. And then he proceeds to say, oh, but I didn't even get to see the, meaning my body.
Look, folks, at the end of the day, if you're allegedly gonna commit a felony, might as well just go all in. Because there's no such thing as half a crime. Unless you work for the mob, you know? Then you can get a little bit of crime here, a little bit of crime there, and then, you know, you just forget about it.
And after telling him, like, no, like, I'm not gonna send it to you, he kept on asking for pictures and videos of body hair and me flexing and stuff. He proceeded to ask to FaceTime me, which I then said no to, and then I asked why.
Folks, it's evident why James Charles wanted to FaceTime him. He wanted to show him his bald head.
It's sad to say that I can't even look up my biggest influence the same again. I've heard multiple stories about him doing this to people, but you never believe it until it happens to you. So now I'm a big believer of what James Charles does to other people, and it sucks because he has so much going for him.
Of course James Charles got a lot going for him. One day he's bald, the next he's got hair. The guy's a baldician. Anyway, folks, everybody's favorite baldician quickly responded to these allegations.
There's a video going around about me on TikTok and Twitter of a guy calling me a groomer, and I want to address it right away. The accusation that I've groomed this person is completely false. Last week, I came across someone on my Instagram Explore page, saw he followed me, and added him on Snapchat. The next morning, I woke up to several snaps from this person being excited I added him back, saying he loved me and also lewd photos of himself in the shower.
How does that say go again? Great minds think alike?
I asked how old he was right away, and he told me he was 18, so I started flirting back. In the excitement of meeting someone I thought could be potentially great, I didn't ask for a copy of his ID or passport.
Now, folks, it makes absolute sense that James Charles would meet a complete stranger online and not think about asking for any sort of identification before starting to have a completely inappropriate conversation with them. Because this is literally the third time this has happened in the last few months, and this guy was 14.
It's now clear based on the video he uploaded, he was taking photos of me with another device and had an ulterior motive from the beginning. Later in the day, he said a few things that made me question the validity of his original age answer, and when I asked him to confirm his age once again, he admitted he was 16.
Folks, I got a feeling that they could make an entire season of Catfish with James Charles because he seems to have a really hard time learning some really basic lessons that are actually common sense.
I told him I was very uncomfortable and apologized for flirting, but he insisted on continuing talking, saying it could be our little secret. He's a fan of mine and would never tell anyone.
Now, folks, you may be asking yourself, why the hell is James still talking to him after finding out that he's 16? Hopefully we get that answer soon.
I told him I wasn't okay with this. He started getting upset, and at this point, I unfriended him. We haven't spoken since.
Oh, finally! I'm starting to get worried this was never gonna end.
I'm not victim blaming or victimizing myself either. Simply sharing what happened, and what happened was not okay. After false allegations like this in the past, I would never knowingly engage with anyone underage and put my life on the line for a few Snapchats.
You know, folks, there's irony, and then there's every single shred of contradiction in that last statement of James Charles. Because when you think about it, folks, if you really care about your career, the first thing you do is approach your fans who you don't know, don't ask for ID, and just start immediately messaging them inappropriate messages, allegedly.
Because of situations like this, instead of taking someone's word for it, I will now ask to see the ID or passport of every guy I have a conversation with.
As the old saying goes,
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
apparently you can, allegedly.
James, we both know I blocked you. You never asked for my age. After I told you I was 16, you proceeded to ask me for and said it didn't matter. You called me hot and said, I wish the timeline could speed up so you can be 18.
All right, now, folks, I feel like this is just going too far. Do we have any evidence whatsoever that James could have seen this person's age at any point?
11 weeks ago, I never changed it.
So you're telling me that they met over on Instagram and this person had a story archived with their TikTok profile that shows that they're 16, huh? I guess someone doesn't have observational skills.
Please contact the police. I am.
Well, it sounds like our job here is done. Let's leave it to the authorities.
In the video, I introduced myself and said I was 17. In the photo he sent, he continued to flirt and said he thought I was a catfish and that I was cute. It never got just wanted to put this out, as many guys have had similar experiences with him.
So another underage boy came forward on the same day as another underage boy, and that means it's 4 people in the last 6 months. Sounds like he's trying to break some kind of record, allegedly.
Admitting to committing a crime, exchanging with a 16-year-old, stop giving a pass to this murder.
Oh, sounds like Ethan Klein is not holding anything back.
Dude, what? James Charles has just admitted to with a minor. Do not victim shame, period. But victim shaming a child is disgusting. Do not put blame on someone else for your grooming / ways.
Oh, sounds like Trisha Paytas isn't holding anything back either.
Anyone defending James Charles right now is probably underdeveloped mentally as well, very young. Know that this is not appropriate. It is not okay. Grown adults have no business flirting with you. Children see this as cool because they idolize. There are long-term damaging consequences.
Oh, come on, Trisha. You're just making this whole situation so serious. Everybody knows that James Charles is just like David Dobrik. He can get away with whatever he wants.
Did I not say James Charles is a human? James Charles is a
Yes, you did. Now, can I get a cookie?
James Charles take advantage of his fans. James Charles take advantage of his power position.
I like to move it, move it.
Yeah, I like to move it.
And now, palate cleanser. Anyway, defenders, make sure you like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you like, will be another lesson that James Charles learns that prevents him from ever doing anything like this again. Tell me in the comments down below what do you think. I want to know. Check out these videos right here. They're good too. Make sure you stay washing your hands, not touching your face, and staying away from stupid people. Have an amazing day, defenders. I love all of you. Peace.